Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.
St. Jude, yeah, and we back, yeah, Zeus P, St. Jude, coming to you live, you don't know what to do, Hey, take an hour break, better yet two, tune in with ATX, best Zeus and St. Jude, they ain't playing with you fools, giving game how to move, trying out the best food, no, got the best shoes, real world thoughts coming from some real men. Big business, bigger pockets, even healthy children. I hit that 2-hour lunch break when I got a fun day. Got a flex for this shorty that should be on the runway. I be laughing at the football days of tight shins. Fart bottles, even some healthy products for my skin. It's an all black affair, bring your white friend. Kick your feet up, roll something, let the light in. Damn, it's the 2-hour lunch break, dog, I'm locked in. So turn your speakers up a notch and grab the white gin. And when I'm on the road to the office or the crib, it's Big Zeus, St. Jude, the ones I wanna hear. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. Coming to you live, putting it on for they city. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. They got everything from the pretty, ugly, and gritty. This is that 2-hour lunch break live from Lady Bird J Lake. So tune in, my dog, you don't wanna miss nothing. This is that 2-hour lunch break, cause one is for pump face. Don't believe me, ask the city dog, I ain't bluffing. Zeus P, St. Jude, O and me, cap status, same crew, different moves, bigger, pay due. ATX, what up?
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode, season 4 of the 2-Hour Lunch Break podcast, a podcast from Austin for Austin. We're here back at home base, Dawa Studios in downtown ATX. I am Saint, one half of the 2-Hour Lunch Break pod, along with my co-host.
Start with Zeus.
And we have some wonderful people in the building today. Two husband and wife, black-owned entrepreneurs here, Austin-based. Both Mr. and Mrs. Bobby Mack, owners of Tater Que. How y'all doing today?
We're doing great.
Good. How are y'all?
Doing well.
Thank y'all for having us.
Now look, I got a question for y'all.
He just got right into
I got
it.
questions.
She went all the way in.
What is a tater spud?
Yes. So it's a barbecue. It's barbecue on top of a potato.
Mm-hmm.
So I like barbecuing and I like potatoes.
Okay.
So we just put the concept of, okay, I didn't like potatoes just potato like a potato, right?
Yeah,
and you put everything on it. We mash ours so you can eat the whole thing. You can try to eat the whole thing. So with that being said, then the ribs and the brisket and sausage and all of that we put on there. That's what made it Tater Que. You know what I mean? So you got tater,
Yeah.
And the
Cute.
Yeah.
with the barbecue.
I like it.
Yeah, with
And
the
we
smoke.
say spuds because it's not like it is a baked potato, but we think of it as spuds because it's a broken down potato. So then it becomes the spuds.
Yeah.
So we season it and we season it, they grill it and butter it. So it's funny because one of the customers like, I've never ate a whole potato, but y'all had me eat a whole potato because the skin is still on it. It's just chopped up, seasoned butter, and then we load it on a bed of, so we call it a bed of loaded spuds. So it's like,
Okay. So before we got started, we were actually talking about this off air.
Yeah.
Right.
So I've known about Tater Que for a while, but I actually first found about Tater Que from my parents.
Okay.
And the story is, I think my mama sent my daddy on like a trip because I grew up off of I grew up off of like Tech Ridge, Palm-Lane area.
Okay.
And so, they had been hearing about it, and so she sent my dad up there.
Right.
And I just happened to be at the house when he got back. Man. And they hyping it up. I'm like, all right, let's see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So my daddy opens the box. So I see the potato, and I think it might be like the biggest reel. And like a like a brontosaurus
Like a
reel.
rhino.
Fred Flintstone reel sitting on top of this. I'm like, oh man, I'm hooked. I'm like, we gotta get them. We gotta get them on the show. You know, to see what they talking about. But we're definitely really excited to have y'all on. We appreciate y'all taking the time out y'all's busy schedule.
Yes,
I know y'all said it was hectic.
Yeah,
today
trying to get here.
That's another story.
Right. So we appreciate y'all, coming on. So I know off air, we were actually talking about y'all's background, y'all being from Austin and everything like that. But let's talk about the background of Tater Que. Let's talk a little bit about the inception. Like I know the story is that, y'all thought about it on your lunch break and you decided to go from there. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, it was, I'm a big eater. At that time, I was a big eater.
Okay.
And I was in the union in this construction. And when you eat in them jobs, you don't want little stuff. You want something that's gonna hold you over, man.
Your ribs.
And one day, I was at the job. I was like, man, I'm tired of going to Elgin to go buy a potato, man. That's 20 miles away. We ain't even got time to leave and go for lunch. And then, the old cats, the men of wisdom, they was like, Bobby Mack, why don't you do something about it? I said, I am. And I just put it out there, and I said, well, my wife can cook, but she cook like your grandma, man. And I barbecue like your uncle, you know what I mean? We put that together in that concept, but the whole thing is that what we see today now is everything is convenient now, right? It's like where we at downtown. Everything convenient. I call it the Geo. You ain't got to go nowhere really. You can stay right at one spot and get everything you want. That's what we wanted at Tater Que. We want it to be convenient for you, and you ain't got to go real far to get the potato. And when you get it, we don't want you to ever forget about it. So that's the whole thing about that was, man, I just got tired of driving so far, going out. And Elgin was the only one I knew.
Yeah.
It might
At
have been
that
other
time,
places,
yeah,
you know
at
what
that
I mean?
time.
We're talking 2014, 15.
Okay,
And so at that time, it was I had enough.
That's serious. That's dope. He said, I'm tired.
Yeah.
So transitioning from your personal careers, right? Established careers and endeavors. We already know that's a challenge to step out on a leap of faith, right? And become your own entrepreneur and creating your own business. Yeah. What are some other challenges that you guys experience on the way that you guys definitely like, hey, for the future entrepreneur, this is what you want to look out for. You want to pay attention to.
It's capital.
I would say, capital for sure.
Yes.
Making sure you have, like, a business plan is great, but understanding that a business plan is a good guide, but it's really that's just what it is. It's not the ultimate roadmap to like where you're gonna go and all the things that may happen in between. So have one, but understand that also be flexible to the changes and some of the challenges you're gonna face getting from A to B on that road. Like you're gonna have a couple of detours, some dead ends, but like you gotta get back on track, so some of the challenges, specific challenges or just if you got one in mind, go for it. Yeah. Specific challenges, with us, it was definitely, we had a business plan, and we did start off with a good amount of capital because we both worked in our respective careers for over 20 years. So we did take calculated risks though. He still, even when he got out of the trade, he had a carpet cleaning business. So he still worked that. We started out just opening on weekends with the food truck. We planned to go all in with a brick and mortar, but COVID. So COVID was 2020.
He said reset.
So we didn't, we did the food truck concept. But yeah, we started weekends. I was still working in healthcare as a compliance officer. Yeah. So we just slowly, and then Tesla came about, and we went out there for a couple years. But he still was doing carpet cleaning. We just had a team of people out there, so it was challenging to juggle both. But family, working with family and friends, some of those relationships in business, it don't mesh well. And just setting expectations and just enduring a lot of the challenges, because when weather hits and people quit on you and you know don't show up to work or putting out a quality product, and like everybody doesn't have the same amount of integrity as you, and it doesn't matter the amount of training, like just it depends on that person.
Right.
Those were some of the main challenges.
Commitment. It was
Commitment. Okay.
We got some pictures of them sliding in the snow and you know, water pipes busting and
Oh boy.
gas lines like for 2 weeks. We had no gas. Like you're gonna deal with some stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And now
Yeah.
we make it look easy.
Yeah.
Is what we was told. They said, man, y'all make it look easy. Y'all shouldn't make it look that easy.
Yeah.
And I said, well,
Don't be on this other side.
Yeah.
So people
Even,
was like, man,
even
y'all
today,
need a
for
talk show.
example,
Y'all need a show.
he was there meeting the people because one of our, you know, lines went out on the vent hood, and they'll red tag you. So he had to stay there to meet the guy, and they ended up coming later than they were supposed to. And then our fryer on the truck it was flaming, so the other guy had to come to do that. And so that put us behind on getting out. You know, it's definitely, the business is like a baby. You cannot control what it wants or needs at any given day. Like it just needs what it needs, and you got to be there.
You got to accommodate.
Or you got to have the right people with the right skill set to be there if you can't.
So I know earlier you brought up Tesla, right? So I know it's my understanding that, you know, Tater Q's first real big splash was, you know, as a food truck servicing, you know, work sites and stuff like that, right? Tell us a little bit about like y'all's transition from the food truck to the brick and mortar y'all have now.
Oh man, it's really when you come from a food truck, from my point of view, it's like easy. Because the food truck is what beat you up.
Really?
Yeah, because of all the challenges. You gotta have gas, propane. That's weekly, daily. You feel what I'm saying? And the weather and all of that. If it's cold, your crew is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
If it's really, really hot, they're gonna hurt.
I can't make it.
You know what I'm saying? And the drive to Tesla, we looking at 20, 30 miles.
That total way,
One way.
So
The wind.
So we tell them,
yeah,
you forget something.
that's it.
It's where it's at. It's just where it's gonna be.
Look, remember
And it
potatoes?
could be
We ain't got
something
that.
crucial, like you forgot water.
You see
Got
what
that
I mean?
water.
So all of that stuff. So when you transition, let's say, you know, you get into the building and when you going into it, you like, we got everything.
Yeah.
I got my gas, I got my, you know, we don't do propane. I got my gas, I got electricity, I got water, I got everything.
Right.
So when you come, my point of view, like again, when you come from that, it's like, man, this is nothing.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right.
that's what helps us even more when we gotta go back and get on the truck to go do a gig. It's like ice cream.
Yeah, you know
you
what
like,
to expect,
okay, we gotta do this.
Yeah.
Make sure we got the propane, the water, and all of that, and then you know.
You got your checklist already in your head.
Boom.
ready to
Nah,
rock.
it's written. It's typed up.
Yeah, I like that.
Laminated.
I like it.
Right.
I like it.
My background is compliance officer for
okay.
healthcare,
Yeah,
so
Yeah, so we got.
I'm
1200.
like, it just applied that in protocols, and then
Yeah.
my biggest thing is getting people to follow me. And when they don't, I'm like,
It's written down. It's
Right.
written down.
That's what she said.
y'all said y'all needed another checklist for this and another reminder and color coordinated. Like, I did it, but you got to use it. Like, so that's their biggest thing. They'll get somewhere and be like,
Not much of a challenge,
yeah.
but still, it could be complicated at times if you going. I call restaurants and all of that going to the big stage. You know what I mean? But like I said, if you come from that small thing, but it's big, and then you go to the big thing, you like act like it's that small thing, and let's just do this. But now we're more comfortable in that transition, and then you know anybody that's not ever did it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a bit of.
I would say that to his point, the challenges in a restaurant coming from a truck aren't as big when you come from a truck, because it's like catering somewhere every day. You cannot, like you said, you can't forget. You can't, like, you gotta have your portions right. You gotta try to have every ingredient you need there with you, because If not, you just
gonna
stuck.
cost
And it's not a good look. So having everything at your fingertips in a restaurant,
Oh man.
and don't run out of water, and your water tank only holds 30 gallons. Don't let somebody overrun the water.
Yeah.
You
They
stuck.
have. They have.
So it happens. Or your tank bust and you didn't know it on your way out there because something hits it. So you get there and you have no water.
No water.
So it's definitely like way more.
You can talk about this all day.
Oh
Yeah.
If we wrote a book, it's a bestseller.
He's like, I got stories.
Yeah,
I got stories,
Right.
man.
Right.
It's a bestseller. I mean, I'm giving y'all this,
Yeah.
but I really could give you that. But,
I
but
wish
we gon-
sometimes we would have documented all them crazy times because it'd be crazy.
So speaking of that, I know you guys talked about COVID being a major experience and a challenge, right?
Right, right.
What made you guys say, hey, we're gonna stick and we're gonna weather the storm, we're gonna go through this experience with COVID and still open up?
It was the urgency of the people.
Okay.
When she was young, it was rough.
Really?
She couldn't eat when she wanted to eat. She didn't have what she wanted to have, and that follows her everywhere we go. So with her not having those things when she was younger, it plays a role into Tater Que today. So she don't never want nobody to go without, ever. So when they kept going, then the God gonna come in too. Now, he's you know what I mean. So you got her, the God, and me, and now he gonna push it towards her spirit and us, and then we're gonna be like, so many people couldn't eat. No, they are. So here I am. I go to the truck, snow all the way up to the door at that one time in COVID.
Yeah.
I cut it up, I crank it on, and it cut on. I said, uh-oh.
It's time to go. It's time to go.
Pipe was busted, fix it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then it was go time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When she found out all of that, if you could see it, she was like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's feed the people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, during
You
the
know what I
winter
mean?
storm.
Yeah,
So
that winter
COVID
storm.
was
That
COVID was one
Yeah.
thing because a lot of places were closed.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
but then it was COVID on top of the winter storms, and
Yeah.
then the truck not starting. So then we were able to partner up with like the Feed the Village, and we were able to push through and feed them, and feed people that needed, because they didn't have water and they didn't have the basic necessities. But even with COVID, pushing through, just it was a prime opportunity for us too, because we were outdoors. And so it made it easier to service people not having a brick and mortar at that time. We actually dodged that bullet with not going that route.
We was fixing to go try to fight for one, and then but on top of all of that, me became a book reader a while back, right? So I love listening to audiobooks. Like I put it in my ear, I can be anywhere listening to it. And now she's doing it. She's been doing it, but I was reading a book, boss. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It was called The Six Black Fortune.
Six Black Fortune. Okay.
It was the 6 first black multimillionaires in America.
Really?
While I'm reading this book,
Right.
it boosts me to go even further. You want to know why? 4 out of those 6 got rich because of pandemics.
Really? Oh, I know that put a fire.
Right.
So when it was rough, but he was like,
I
hold
know
on.
you was. Oh no, we got.
Oh man, we
got.
And,
They
you know,
did it. Yeah, right.
And
right,
one of
right.
the things he kept saying is they faced a lot more adversity. Like
Yeah.
we still face adversity, but they faced
Oh,
Yeah.
tons more
when I was
adversity.
reading that book, even Charles Lee, he was like, whoever read this book, don't never say you can't do it. You know what I mean? Because he was a rebel in it, man, and it made me just go even harder, because I always say if they did it, I know we can do
Yeah.
it. So that was a lot while we pushed through, and then she behind me like whatever.
let's make it happen.
Long as it got to make sense though.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Y'all can't come to her with nothing throwed off crazy.
Right.
She not trying to hear that, man. And that's what make us kept going through it all though.
That's
Gotcha. So I know earlier y'all were talking about how y'all service the community,
Right.
you know, during the pandemic, right? So I know community involvement seems to be pretty important to the both of y'all.
Yes.
So since the pandemic has ended, like give us a couple examples of what Tater Que has done in the local community as far as like, you know, community involvement, anything like that.
Well, we continue with that giving because once God give it to you, you know what I mean. It's still a supply and demand type thing, right? Those people still hurt, and we kept a connection with the city and other things around it, and they kept with her, so we continue to feed them.
Got it.
We don't put it on blast. We don't say nothing about it. We continue to feed them. We will feed them. So whenever they call, we feed them.
If we can,
You know what I mean?
As long as we got the inventory, we good.
Yeah, because she'll come through. We
But
need
there's
200
some-
burgers.
yeah.
I mean,
And there's some
200
things
brisket
that we
sandwiches.
do, like also with some of the like little league teams. So we'll do fundraisers for them. We'll do We'll partner up with some of the teams. Do fundraisers or like spirit nights, so where we'll give like a percentage of our proceeds for the night. We recently partnered up with like the Dream Out Loud. I know you know like Dole, and we have karaoke night on Thursdays. So they came. We did that karaoke night, and so we usually try to do. We give a percentage back of our proceeds to organizations, especially Black and brown organizations that have a harder time raising funds. It's hard for everybody, but I mean, the statistics and the data show it's just harder for more Black and brown organizations. And then we just like partnered up with Pflugerville ISD, so we do some things with them as well, like for the coaches and stuff like that, because they don't provide as much. They don't provide as much food anymore like they used to. So we try to, just find ways. We did a community day with the police department. Like, so we dibble and dabble where we can
We
in
got
the
another
community
day
for
coming
sure.
with them too.
Yeah, we do. At least a couple times a month we're doing something.
That's dope. That's dope. So with these events that you're talking about, like the karaoke and things of that nature, how does that play? Because if anyone looks at your social media, right, especially IG, they see us jumping.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a good time.
Yeah, I'm like, I need to pull up.
Dancing.
Yeah,
Right.
Let's see what that's talking about.
They was dancing. I was
Right,
like, I want to dance.
Yeah.
See what's going on.
If y'all saw chairs, y'all, that's not normal. They're picking up the chairs. They were doing a little skit. That's not normal.
So how does that play in the atmosphere of Tater Que?
Oh man, it became a major role in certain aspects of Tater Que.
It was not planned.
It was like our DJ, man. The whole thing was, I said, Quan, you spin records.
Yeah.
I make the potatoes and wings.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, whoa.
What are you doing out here?
What is all these people coming for? Because you know why? Austin been needing and wanting somewhere to go and bounce around. All
Yeah,
other
like a
cities
tour.
had it, and people been touring like it's like
Now I see a tour like Thursday tour, like they're hitting certain spots. Might say Tater Que or
It
the
grows,
Cigar Lounge
Yeah, for sure.
flat. So they're going like
All
different
over.
days.
they're having a great time at this, and when you're an owner, you're like, how long this gonna last? It don't look like it's quitting anytime soon. Okay, so we just gonna keep on rolling with it. You know what I mean? And we try to make it even. Karaoke is karaoke. You know what I mean?
Right.
And more people find out, they have a great time, and it gets bigger every week. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, oh my God! And then Sundays,
Shout out DJ Cali.
shout out
DJ
DJ Kelly,
Quan. Shout out DJ Mitch.
But
Shout out all-
Sundays is ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, that wasn't even written.
See that when we talk about the business plan.
There you go.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That Sunday wasn't written, and this crazy.
Wow.
And it wasn't even like, when I was writing the plan there, and I'm thinking, I'm talking to God, and I'm like, man, but Sunday, what you oh, he probably has a bonus. I probably do.
Yeah. We can relax.
And I
hang
take
out.
that, you know.
Yeah.
But it's really a great time. It's fun, man. Because we can do it. We can do it.
Gotcha. So I know. So since opening, I know y'all have built like a dedicated following. What's it called? Like the Happy Spudsters, right? Right.
Spudsters, the Spud
Right.
Squad.
Yeah, the Spud
Shout
Squad.
out Spud Squad.
Shout out Spud Squads, baby.
So I was gonna say, with that said, how have y'all managed to build such a dedicated following? Is it the food? Is it the event? Is it a combo of the two? Is it the customer service? What do y'all think is pulling people in so consistently?
What you just said.
Yeah, it's a combo of the three. And it's like a family, it's a family vibe. And to me, it's just like a family atmosphere, if that makes sense. Like, we look at it like the feel for us is like a family reunion, block party / I don't know. It's
Take
just,
you back.
Yeah.
But it's just like like y'all saw Poetic Justice when they went to the family reunion.
Yeah.
It's
Cousins.
like
Yeah.
some cousins should be trying, but it was that. But it's that vibe. It's just like we're naturally like happy, free spirited people. We do not like negativity. It's already enough in the world, so we try to. We could be having a crazy day, but we don't try to put that off on our customers. We try to, because they could be having a crazy day too. So, we try to always just make sure, when people come through the door, that they can just relieve whatever stress they had and just come in and be greeted and have a good time. And so many of them, they're like, man, the energy in here is just the energy,
Right.
So yeah,
They like the vibe, and that's what we hear the most. Is the vibe. And the vibe, it come with the atmosphere, it come with everything else. So let's think about it. What I was, and I wrote this down. This is what I did say. I said, God, I want good food, good drinks, and it brings great people. And that's exactly what happened. And so for my future entrepreneurs, write it down and believe in it. Never doubt, because you doubting yourself and you doubting the man that you writing it to. He already sent you a love letter, but you can send him one back. But you got to believe in it. That's the most thing.
I ain't gonna lie, that might be our clip right
We
there.
gotta put that on the Instagram.
Clip that, coach.
Man.
Timestamp. I need a timestamp.
We gotta say that one.
You was that saying you had I serve great people, but you had a whole
Oh
saying.
man, boy, I used to say it all the
It
time.
was all written down.
All written down because I
I
write
serve
all
great-
over the house,
You
man.
do?
I put little skits. I put stuff on the thing, scriptures.
Yeah.
So I write all this, and
Sayings,
then
quotes,
I got them.
motivational quotes.
It's so many, man. So I let them use me.
Yeah, I'm
You
like,
know what
here
I
go
mean?
another binder I found. And here goes some more flashcards. Like,
That's
they're
all right
everywhere.
though. That's
Yeah,
all right
yeah,
though.
Keep me going
Yeah.
and stay out of that negative state.
Amen.
You know what I mean? If you can think negative, you can think positive.
Yeah, there you go.
You know
There
what
go.
I mean? So that's the whole thing.
With that, it sounds like y'all are both have extremely excessive creativity in coming up with ideas and your concept as far as your business is concerned. We took a peek at the menu and were astonished by the menu names and item names, right?
2, 3.
Right. Hello. Hello. Tell us the background story behind that and the
So-
creativity that came involved.
So, here we go. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sum it up. I ain't gonna go.
All right,
cool. Okay, where we from in this city is right across the street down here, about 5 minutes away. Let's be real, right? So in these streets, you got parks. Alamo, that was a park, recreation center, right? That was what we were when we was young. Now you got to get to them street. To get to them, you got to have the street names.
Yeah.
So you got 12th and Chicon, you got all these streets that
Yeah.
bypass or go by these streets. And so I dwelled in those spots a little bit at a time when I was young. And I always, in myself and my spirit, want to give back.
Okay.
Because what happens is some people can come in your city and you'll never knew those landmarks was there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because they would take over it. They would knock them down. And I want the people that's still here to say, man, you got that up there, man.
Yeah.
So that's what it resides in me. Like, you don't never know what's going to happen, but I at least wanted to keep that mark and that name on these potatoes. So every time you eating them, baby,
You know exactly.
you know exactly what we went
That's
through, how it
big.
was back then. So all the potatoes that we have, street names, roads,
or people's names,
or
and
people's
teams.
names, teams like the Big Jack that come from my best friend Ray Jackson.
Okay.
With the podcast.
Yeah.
His daddy, Coach Jack, said a few words to me, and it changed my life. So I went to my boy out of respect and say, man, you don't mind? He was like, kill it.
Right.
His potato is the number one potato.
Really?
Yeah. it's
Because
another
of,
one, so.
and I look at things because of the spirit.
Yeah.
It'll never die. So I look at that like that. So it lets me know that his spirit and what he put into me and what I want to give back, it'll never die. You know what I mean? He might be buried and gone, but baby, he's still with us.
Right.
And he in us. You know what I mean? So with all that being said, that goes for the streets. The Fab Five mac and cheese. I got with all of them and say, hey man, can I use y'all name? And you know, he got with all of them and they said, yeah, you know, you come up though, you know, them boys got money, man.
Well, and it was fitting because we put 5 different cheeses in our macaroni.
Oh, well,
so
yeah,
it just
yeah.
went in.
Make it fit.
Yeah.
And that's her recipe.
Yeah.
And so if you ever come to Tater Que and that macaroni is not right,
Let us know.
let us know.
We'll make it right.
So that came
Your Mac
with,
is not Mac.
so all the street names. So they are also in the restaurant as well. I put the street names on the wall. So she made me little plates.
Yeah,
like
he
street
wanted
names.
street name.
So
he'll come up with ideas. We both come up with a lot of ideas, but he'll be like, man, what if we did a street name? I'm like, okay, I'm on it. Let me get them made.
yeah. So
And
we
then
got street names.
But we're constantly adding to them because you know,
Certain
different
people
people we
get
grew
mad.
up with, they like,
What Colony
where's
Park?
we're like, okay, we're gonna, you know,
Where Lakeside is.
There you go, right there. There it is.
Right,
And we
right.
actually did a lakeside.
we
and
did
all
a
of that.
lakeside nacho now.
Craigwood.
We did a Craigwood.
Yeah, Craigwood.
I think we got North Lamar's.
Yep,
We got
North
Loaded Lamar's.
Y'all got
Cause
Loaded
Loaded
Lamar's?
Lamar's is,
You
yeah.
know, even though that's what it is, but and so with that being said, I always wanted to give back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once again, I always want to give back, so you never forget that no matter how long this thing goes in this life, you'll never forget that these street names and these places was here in our city from where we come from.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yes, sir. That's big.
Gotcha. So I know I'm a big fan of the naming aspect. I know with that said though, the restaurant is still located in Pflugerville, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
how do y'all balance paying tribute and paying homage to Austin while still serving Pflugerville's kind of local flavor?
Okay, so you got to think of this: the people who really in Austin, they really in Pflugerville right now.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying,
You got a
because of,
point.
you know
we're there too.
everything they did, you know. So
I'm in Round Rock. So
you
I
know,
get it.
so you
I
feel
get
me,
it.
right?
I get
So,
it.
so all of them, most of them, they didn't move out here. So it's kind of like that's my childhood thing.
Yeah.
But this our grown up thing. You know what I mean?
But it
Because
still gives them that memory
Yes.
of when they come in and
Yes.
like you can just see people light up like, oh, they looking for their area.
Right,
They're
yeah.
like, oh, I'm over there. Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
where
right
Hard
the road in
Pen
the
at?
corner.
Yes.
You
You know what I'm talking
And we
about.
had to tell them like, y'all,
Come on.
now we get into the nitty gritty. They want, you know, because it went from just like main streets to like your set. Like,
Right, yeah.
Hard Pen
Oh,
wasn't the
nah.
street.
Yeah.
So now it's like,
Yeah.
but Craigwood is one, but
Yeah.
They
I
be
mean,
sit,
you got
they be sitting by their
Craigwood.
streets like, nah, I'm gonna sit over here. I'm
Yeah.
That's my section.
Like, nah.
And they'll go over there. That's crazy you said that. Because we
This
got them
Craigwood,
outside.
Texas.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm
And then they like the shack. I'm like the shack wasn't the street, y'all.
Y'all chill out. Y'all out right now. That's funny. That's funny. So
But we do, you know, in Pflugerville, they love. We did give a street sign for Heather Wild because that's the main street.
Yeah.
But I feel like culturally the merging of the two, like they know that it's grown a lot because of people moving out there, but also they like it. They like what is this? What is that? So they like the newness of it, you know, as far as the streets that they may have never heard of.
yeah,
So,
That's
yeah.
super awesome. So I know operating a business, as we talked about, can be rewarding and challenging at the same time. So I kind of want to get into both your experiences together as a couple, right? How do y'all balance being a couple, being partners, being business partners, and challenges that come in when you're both party members, and you like, we got to make a decision for the business and not our ego base. How do y'all balance that?
Man, that's a good question. And so we'll fight 20 times out of the week.
I love it. Let's get to the real. I love it.
So we gonna fight. She gonna win half of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, let's be real.
Exactly.
I'm gonna win a few of them, right? Because mine didn't make more sense than hers. So you know what that means. So I'm a man of not of just understanding.
Yes.
But I had to start figuring out her love language in this business.
That's serious.
Because if you don't, boss,
Yeah.
oh man, it be just tater.
Yeah.
Right.
Man,
Yeah.
that hurt. Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah, ain't no Q on that, bro. That old Q, he just got that. Yeah, he over there.
So you lost some of your sauce, brother. What happened?
Ran up on tater, and that's what happened. But it really does. The balance of it was, for real, I'm serious. It's like she bark, I bark. It still happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She bark, I bark, and then I gotta start thinking, why is she barking back? For real. Like, why is she barking back? Is it because she want her way? Is she think it's a logic? What am I saying to make her bark back? And then when I start seeing it, and then I'm like, okay, she making a point, or you know what? Let's do it and see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's do it and see, because we all know women don't like apologizing. When something ain't, you know what I'm saying, it turn out. They know.
I just got married. Let me stay out of that.
Okay.
Let me back up out of that.
Okay, I don't mean to, y'all went there and I got there with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for us, man.
Me and my fiance in a good place right now.
Like, I'm just gonna laugh. I'm not speaking to this.
No, I get it. I
mean, she's an alpha. I'm serious. And everybody call her boss lady, queen bee, all this. So when she walk in, why when I walk in, they like, oh, that's just Miss Bob. But why when she walk in, everybody's gotta clean up. Because they gonna hear cussing and fussing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's what they call it, cussing and fussing 2.0. But as of us, like when I ain't gonna lie, man. We bicker a lot and we go in a lot about the business. I'm not gonna lie, man. We go in, but it ain't no disrespect at all.
You gotta fight fair.
Right. Ain't no name calling. Ain't no you, none of that. It's none of that.
Right.
It's strictly because it's business. So me personally, I gotta pull my ego out, right? Because that's what a man should do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't pull your ego out, what is that? Ego. Edging God out. You got to leave that out there and let's start talking about what's really going to happen and what's going on.
Right.
So once a man can take that out and start understanding, like, man, she making sense, man. I know I'm big dog. But she big cat too, so you know what I'm saying. So, but let me go on and because you know what, you over a period of time you start going like this. Well, she right, huh?
He's just a Leo, and he gotta be a lion, and he just gotta roar sometimes. I'm like, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about what we need to get to.
But I think
he'll walk out and storm out. Like, okay, so when you come back in 5 minutes.
But I think it's also the reassurance knowing that she's never gonna lead you astray, right?
Man,
she always got your back, you always got her back, and it's a team effort, collaboration. I bet.
And the biggest thing is like, especially for women and men, because it is, we're married, we've been together for 17 years of almost, going on 18 years. So have had multiple businesses together, and it's prepared us for this. We bickered in other businesses with the other ones. Like, I mean, it was some trying times, especially because we didn't know each other that well. When we got into our first business, we were only together for like a year and a half.
Oh.
So that was really a test. Like, well, we ain't got nothing together. Like, you know, it was like, it was trying, but we like, God has centered our marriage no matter what we've been through, what we've experienced to overcome. So we just go back to base. Like when it gets out of control, we just like, okay, let's get back to base.
Go to scriptures for
let's
fighting.
Get back, because we know it's like,
that all when that get through slapping me up, all right, let's do it. You know what I mean? Because that's.
But
like
ultimately, like we both are in it together, like wholly. So we both stepped out on faith together. I don't want, like, I could probably see some of his blind sides, and I'm like, I can see something maybe you don't sense or feel, because men like to just go. And I try not to overthink a lot either. I like to go too. But I'm also like very like cautious of like, well, what is this person? And very detailed, a little more detailed. Like, I don't want to stop you from going, but like, let's look at the pros and the cons. So at least we kind of have some of them worked out what to expect before we just like.
True.
You know, because
that do her part well, man.
Okay. So I was gonna say, so kind of taking a detour off of that. So I know the both of y'all earlier, you said that y'all were in y'all's respective careers for 20 plus years, and you decided to make that leap into entrepreneurship. What kind of advice would y'all have for anybody, any potential entrepreneurs that are thinking about making that leap?
Do it slowly. No.
What it is, to me, it was her reassurance.
Okay.
When she said, "Baby, get out of there," she said, "I got you." Man,
that's a big deal.
Man,
yeah.
And she had me. And so what I'm gonna tell them is, the trust gotta be bigger than anything. You know, with the love, commitment, and integrity, and everything that comes with it. It's like that iceberg, but all that's at the bottom and all that right there.
Right, yeah.
That's what she was. All that at the bottom. You looking at the tire, it's big. No, it's really big down here. So when she told me to get out of there, she already had a plan. And she just let me know, like, we're gonna make it. So her faith mixed with mine, and all we need is a mustard seed.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's more of it all. If I couldn't, I'm not gonna lie to you, I couldn't say I have the answer if I was by myself. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I wouldn't have no answer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's not how it was. It was with somebody who was gonna let's go, we jumping out this plane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the parachute gonna come out whenever it do.
Yeah.
But
we gonna figure it out, though.
Yeah, we gonna figure it out.
It's
You know what I
definitely
mean?
a partnership, because I'd be like, we just can't do it without each other. Like, we couldn't have done it without each other.
Right.
So I would say we're just speaking on a perspective of a couple that has been able to grow, to work together.
Sure.
Like, as far as new entrepreneurship, leaving your respective careers as a couple, but as an individual that may not have that same support. I would just say, if I had to do it again, because I have had businesses where it's just me, to go at it slow, do your research, and get with a mentor that's already in that profession, so that they can give you advice on the who's that you need. There's a book called Who Not Why, Who Not How.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a great book,
yes,
especially for entrepreneurs. There's another one called The E-Myth that talks about being an entrepreneur or a technician or a manager, like what role you really play, because a lot of times, especially nowadays, entrepreneurship is just like pushed a whole lot. But really, and I think back to our respective careers, we wouldn't be able to do any of this without those, because we hadn't been in a household or anywhere where people had their own businesses, not to that degree.
Right.
So they might have had little side hobbies or hustles, but it wasn't like to the degree that we were pursuing entrepreneurship. So I would say, like, if you're an individual, definitely get that support from some outside sources and read some books, and maybe even work in the profession that you are looking at wanting to get into as far as work there. If you want to own a restaurant, go work in one.
Mm-hmm.
We both worked in some, but we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
But entrepreneurship is so important. Entrepreneurship. So instead of every day in, day out hating what you do on your job, learn to love it and embrace it, and embrace what you can learn from the people that hired you. Because if you want to be an entrepreneur to that degree where you can hire others, then you need to learn where you're at. And I see so many people, like, because entrepreneurship is be your own boss and this and that every day they dread going into work. But it's like, you might not like your job, but they clearly were able to hire you for some reason, and give you a check. So what are they doing that you can take away from into your own entrepreneurship journey? Start paying attention and look at it as an on-the-job training instead of just a job, because you ain't gonna always get paid to do it when you work for yourself. You're gonna be the last one to get paid. And if you can't not get paid for about 3 years, then it ain't for you. Then don't just step out and quit your job. I would say just unless you got a good amount of capital put away to sustain yourself.
But even having people with a lot of capital, it's not good sometimes. You wanna know why? Because you're gonna go buy everything.
And get the shiny object
You're
syndrome.
gonna get all that,
all the
boss.
big stuff.
And then you're gonna get all that.
You don't need the 5,000. Let's get the 10,000.
That was him at first.
Yeah, it was. You know
I'm
what I mean?
the
You want
frugal
the
one.
best of
Top
the
of the
best.
line.
Yeah, we want top of the line, man.
I'm like, let me see if somebody got this.
3.5. This 5 star.
Yeah.
It's a 7 well. This a 3.
So you see what I mean? And then you got to start saying, well, it's better to come out of it. You know what I mean? It's better to go up in it instead of going. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to start at the, top.
Yeah.
Well, what if I told you the top was washing dishes? And then you work yourself down to see what it really is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So another thing, if anybody out there, you're an entrepreneur, please go get that book, The E-Myth.
The E-Myth.
Because you want to know why? This book gonna teach you 3 things. You cannot be the entrepreneur, the tech, and the manager. He said you will fail. And he breaks it down why you gonna fail. Because you cannot do all of them by yourself. Not all by yourself.
You can't grow into.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
You can
y'all
do
are
'em, it's
here,
gonna wear you
but
out,
she's
though.
there. She's there being your support.
Right.
Y'all are supporting each other, and understanding that, because social media especially makes things look so they just show the good and don't show as much support as you'll need. And then so sometimes people feel like they fail because of what they see versus what reality is.
Man.
And reality is a whole lot different. Day in and day out, like it's way more challenging than what social media shows. Like it, yeah.
That's interesting. So looking forward, what are your aspirations for Tater Que? And then also, are there any things that are new, exciting that you want customers to be aware of, or anything that's new that's coming on the menu?
The goal for Tater Que is to franchise it.
Okay.
That's what I
You
like.
feel me?
That's what I like.
And because we seen it with our own eyes just by a taco spot.
Right.
We seen it with our own eyes. I ain't got to say their name. But we seen it, and now it's all over the United States. And once we feel that and we know that, if it's alignment with God, it will happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how I feel about it. And she definitely feel about it, because that's long time wealth, and it's leaving a legacy like we're supposed to do, is leave something for our children's children, and that'll help them, and it'll help others as well grow into something that they never thought they could have or be, or you know what I mean? So it's really about the people, but it's still about us, and as well as, for the goal for Tater Que. You know what I mean?
And with the franchise thing, as he was saying, we want an outlet for us to be able to allow people to franchise that may be interested in a spot like Tater Que. And it don't even have to be like this hub. This hub is totally different than what we plan for the franchises to be.
Right.
But something that's not as expensive. You know, you think about getting a McDonald's or some of these other spots. You got to have a hella, like, can I cuss a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to have, like, hella, that's not that bad of word.
Nah.
Hella liquid, hella assets, liquid and fixed. Sometimes, so it's much more difficult to get into those spaces. And so we want something that we can allow some of our community members, whether local, we have some people that are already interested, but we are not there yet. But we're not there yet to franchise it out, you know, but we're getting a little more data under our belt to get a fair valuation of what the franchise would look like. But that is the goal, because there are people out there that love to cook and would love to have some sort of a blueprint to just be able to go right into that. And so we want to be able to provide that at a lower cost to, you know, people we know or anybody that's willing. And we feel like with the franchise, it'll, number one, you'll go crazy trying to have a whole bunch of locations by yourself.
No.
I'm not interested. I'm not interested.
No, thank you.
Number two, because people are already like, when y'all gonna come south? When you gonna go to Maine? When you gonna go here? We're like, no. When do you want to come visit me at the state hospital? Because that's where I'll be. It's already enough juggling one location and a couple food trucks.
Right. Yeah.
So we knew initially, even with the business plan, that we wanted to be able to franchise. But being able to see other people, it's not, yes, God gonna give you what you need, but being able to see other people, like hire their, you know, leave something for their family or hire some of their family members, the right ones.
Yeah.
And you know, that's gonna put the biggest smile on our face. Like it already does, just working there now and being able to see these young kids come in there and it's their first job,
right?
Or like just these high school kids and giving them that opportunity. So I can imagine when somebody else is able to do it. Yeah. And I feel like we both feel like if you put in on it, meaning you purchase this franchise, even if it's $20,000 to start it or whatever, you got some skin in the game. You're gonna care more about the outcome. You're gonna care about the quality. True. You're gonna care about, you know, your customers more, all that, because you put in an investment. Your investment is at risk. Right. And I've seen that with other models. Like if you went and got a franchise, you're gonna be there.
Oh no, for sure.
Especially in the beginning, you know.
Do you like Chick-fil-A?
So we feel like that's the best. That's the best route for growth for us. Yeah.
But what's the
goal?
Food wise?
We got
seasoning. We got some seasonings coming.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Some rub.
Do we got a 2-hour lunch break exclusive?
I mean,
drop?
I got a drop. Yeah, I got a drop.
You said dry or drop?
Hey, either way you want
to whatever you want to do. Yeah. We ain't picky.
Whatever.
It don't matter.
We got some seasonings coming out, man.
Okay.
And it's gonna be exciting, man. I'm
hopefully before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm excited myself about it, because you know that's a process. And you gotta fall in love with the process. If you don't, you will have a lot of painful days and nights. So, but I'm really thinking about throwing that turkey leg in there.
The turkey legs,
okay.
so bad.
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving, y'all, we gonna be seasonal.
Test it out, see what happens.
Right,
Y'all know we did. So we started brunch, and that's been a hit. We started brunch.
Yeah.
We got fried French toast,
Saturday and Sunday. Yeah.
Waffles, chicken. Oh my God. We got a smoked skillet.
Yeah.
Smoked sausage skillet, brisket.
It's pretty.
Fried egg
tasty,
on it.
Man,
We got grits, shrimp and grits, and fish and grits. So we got a brunch menu now, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. But I really do want to bring them turkey legs on and put that dressing on there.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Throw some brisket on there.
You see how the way you talk about
and
it?
then and then he like,
I'm ready to try this out.
I want them to taste it. I hate somebody to taste it, then I take it away.
Yeah.
That's like a 3-year-old. Man, what you doing, man? What's wrong with you taking this away? But that's one of them arguments.
Right.
That's one of them arguments.
Right.
What you mean? It's seasonal. Why we can't keep it? What? So, and then I'll be like, well, she right, because then you gotta cook it, and you a perfectionist, and you gotta have it your way. So I understand that, just like she was with brunch. So it's, because she got greens, and then we do oxtails and all of that. So all of that, I let her do that because that's who she is.
Right.
In that aspect of her doing that, like ain't nobody coming in there telling her nothing.
Right.
Cause she got it down. Once my grandmother A-OK that,
His grandma did.
all grandmas then A-OK.
Yeah, that's all you need.
And that's the only
That's
potato
all I
she
need.
wants every
Right.
week. It's stacked with greens and
So
and
that's
what-
to come seasoning.
Gotcha.
And I'm like I said, I'm tossing that turkey leg. I ain't trying to
He
be.
don't do the turkey leg.
I ain't trying to be like everybody else, man. All that fall off the bone. I don't do all that, man. I want you to bite it every time. Every time you bite, I want you to say, "Man, I love you, man. What you got for me, man?" You know what I'm saying? So that's basically it,
Right.
boss. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I was gonna say. So I know over the years y'all have put in a lot of time with Tater Que. I know y'all have had countless customers up to this point. If you can, tell us an instance or a story of a memorable customer interaction that y'all have had since y'all started.
Man, it was 2 of them back to back.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her have the last one. I'm gonna take the first one. So on my
Might
birthday,
take one of mine. No, I'm just
so
kidding.
on my birthday, we was just being who we are on my birthday.
Yeah.
And having a great time like we always do.
Right.
And
Right.
wow, this cat in here filming.
Oh.
I ain't knowing none of this. He take this joker and go put it on TikTok and then blow through the roof.
Oh.
But it was how he see it. You know how they do the
It was
TikTok.
it was
Right.
a husband and wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're based in Austin.
And he came in and took shots with us, me not knowing nothing.
Yeah,
Man. I'm
Right.
being
What's
me who
going
I
on?
am, you know what I mean? And not knowing that they do their same little thing. So I was just like, man, that's awesome, man. And they got us some good reviews.
And he saw the
all
whole
that.
skit, and we ended up toasting with him.
Yeah, and then
And he didn't even know who it was,
Right.
but we on his birthday, anybody who was in the restaurant still was over 21.
Yeah.
We passed out shots of his choice, and so they ended up coming up to the bar toasting, and he didn't know that was he didn't know that,
That
was
was
him.
awesome.
Wow.
It really was, man. It was awesome, man, to see that. Then the last dude, he just left here this past weekend.
Oh yeah, Bubba Dub,
Bubba
the
Dub.
comedian.
Bubba Dub.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Okay,
Chopped
right.
it up.
Yeah, he's at Cap City.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came through, chopped it up with us, took pictures.
Okay.
Me and his road manager, we done got real close.
Oh, the road managers was in the back. I said, I'm about to give you a Tater Que shirt because you at this pit eating
Right,
ribs.
At the pit.
I said, I'm about to have you clock
Getting
in
the
in
fresh
a
out.
minute.
Yep, fresh off,
out.
man.
Yeah.
Said,
Oh,
hey,
they
brother, we
were-
charging you.
Yeah.
They were exchanging recipes and everything. You know, you add a little this and have you tried that? Oh, it was.
It was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
That's what's up.
It really was, man. It was a great thing, man. That right there was a beautiful day.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
So
sir.
y'all have hung out with us. You guys experience what we do. We appreciate y'all for joining us. But we usually have one final request and question at the end of the one before we wrap up.
Last question.
Last and final
Last
question. So, since you've seen this experience and since you've joined on this experience with us, we want you to provide us with one person or one individual, one group that you guys think would be cool to join us here at the podcast. But there's a
Big but.
stipulation. We need you guys to plug us into that person.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Who would you
go
think
ahead,
that would
Mom.
be?
You got it.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
you got so
I
many.
only won.
Your whole
Oh,
He said, "What you talking
Yeah,
about?"
what you talking about?
Well, you can say
I mean,
one. Look, you can say
what?
one right now, and
Yeah.
then help us out with everybody.
If y'all got
else.
multiple, please.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we ain't
Throw
gonna
that
turn it
there,
down.
Yeah.
we not picky over here.
Right.
Dang, so
on,
many. Well, I have multiple, but like, organizations like Dole, Dream Out Loud, organizations like the one Michael Blaylark's a part of, which is Urban Power Connections.
Okay.
They're doing some big things in the community as far as outreach and like building of homes or like coming together to, purchase properties and things like that. even like Elmer, some of the guys he's on the locker room with, Elmer, Ray Jack, what they're doing in the community with their developments and stuff like that, and teams. God, it's so much. Even, I mean, mental health care providers like Heath Muhammad. There's a group of black mental health care providers that I think would be great to be on.
Awesome.
If it comes to entrepreneurs, golly, it's so many.
Yes.
I would say, like, even for a lot of the event planners in Austin, like the Yolis and the Shares and the Brittany Marita, like them as a team would be great to come in. But I can go 15. On and on.
Yeah, we can shoot 15 easy. And you know, and they're going to be excited, but we definitely let y'all get y'all all that information, what y'all need. Yeah. We going to get their information, which we have some of them, and then we want to make it right.
Absolutely.
So we don't want to give nobody nothing. Oh man, they didn't. Yeah. We want to give you the proper what you need, and then they'll come.
So I'll give you all their info. But I think that'd be great because people are always looking for services or looking to see what things are going on in the community that you know they may not have even known they could be a part of. Black Leadership Collective, the Black Fund, some of the things they're doing. So yeah, it's a lot going on out there that a lot of us aren't always tapped into social media or, you know, the algorithms of what they are. So you might miss some things that are going on. So I'll definitely
sure will.
If I forgot any of y'all, charge it to my head, not my heart.
Right. Okay, I was gonna say before we wrap up, let's plug your social media handles. Where can everybody find y'all?
Man, easy, man. She got all the info. She laid it out every day.
Tater Que. Tater Que on Facebook, Tater Que on Instagram. It's Tater_Q. I'm working to get my Tater Que back. I filed we got a trademark for it, so somebody else got that. But it's Tater_Q. Okay. And Tater_Q on TikTok. Okay. So yeah. And TaterQ.com for any catering. You can keep up to date with any events on Eventbrite /Tater Que. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, that wraps up another episode of the 2-Hour Lunch Break Podcast. We want to give a special shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Bobby and Bobbie Mack for joining us here today. We're back here at Dawa Home Studios. Shout out to our production on Behind the Boards, Kafa Yodo, and salute to our home studio, Dawa Studios. The episodes of the 2-Hour Lunch Break can be found on all DSPs, that is digital streaming platforms out. That is Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, wherever podcasts can be found. Wow. And again, if you want to check us out, you can check us out at 2HLB Pod on Twitter, at the 2-Hour Lunch. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll check y'all next time. Peace.
We out.
And it's coming home to Texas. It's coming home all the way to Austin, Texas, baby.